Living in Australia, one of the common questions that comes up in the clinic is, of course, about long-haul travel and what to do with your medications, especially with complicated regimes like we see in Parkinson's disease. It's interesting, of course, because this is a problem that doesn't have a scientific answer, and so there's no good data to tell us what we should be doing. But if you think about most of your flight times, effectively, if you're getting on a plane in the afternoon, you'll find that you'll have taken your morning dose, your midday dose, and your usual dose. And then what will happen is that you'll get on the plane for 2 hours, there'll be frantic activity, and then they'll turn the lights down and hopefully you'll sleep through. And by that stage, you'll have had most of your daytime doses. You might want another dose before you, if you like, settle down, or if you are able to sleep, that's great. And then generally you'll wake up somewhere around the middle of the world in their time zone, and that's when you just start taking your tablets as though it was your time zone. Now, if you have a long haul stay where effectively you keep going, obviously you're going to need to take some of your medications when you get back on your second leg of the flight, and that would probably be best done about an hour or so before you get on or about to board. And then I probably would advise just using the medications as you feel, but about every 4 to 6 hours. But again, the aim will be with a long-haul flight that generally they put the lights down and you're sleeping for that time. And then generally, if you're waking up in Europe, you'll be waking up in their morning, usually with those flight times, and you'll start taking your tablets again. And often the case on the return journey, many flights come back into Australia, arriving first thing in the morning, when again you adopt the time zone. One of the pitfalls, of course, is when patients say to me, oh look, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Sydney now, should I be taking my tablets? And the answer is no. Please just adjust to the time zone that you're in, so that you can actually take your medications for the period that you're there for. This travel will change your body clock, and unfortunately there's no good way around that. The truth is that you're better off having a longer period at your destination rather than doing a quick turnaround. Other factors to consider with long-haul flights are to remain well hydrated. So ideally, for a patient with most of the degenerative diseases of the brain, you want to be camped on the end of an aisle and ideally somewhere close to the toilets if you can get there. The other factor to consider is if your disease is impacting you in a way that you may not remember things so well, or if you're developing any hallucinations or misperceptions, then often when those lights go down and there's nothing to get your bearings, it can be a little bit confronting. So if you know that you're a patient who might get anxiety, or if you're somebody who may run into trouble on a long haul flight, get confused, for example, then you may be better off discussing it with your doctors and perhaps having even a light sedative, something like a diazepam, a Valium, to be able to take that will hopefully keep you calm for the duration of your flight. Many of the major airlines will have a pack like that, and often there are doctors flying on flights to help out, but it's good to try and be ready for every situation.